Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I hope you are well. This is another subsection in the NARC series. Just these little indicators of trying to give you some pointers to verify in your own mind whether you are in a NARC relationship or not. Like I said in a previous video, these are not qualifiers. These are simply indicators. These are the little information nuggets I want to dish out to you just to scratch your mind a little bit and say, I wonder if so-and-so that I know is in a NARC relationship, being poisoned by the toxic person in their life. Maybe, who knows? Here's another few little pointers, little indicators. And part of my French here, have you ever been in a situation where you get someone that is deliberately starting an argument for no real reason? A comment that I read on the internet is they are referred to as shit starters. Not necessarily shit stirrers, they are the shit starter. Now, if anybody who knows me, they will know that this is not the kind of language that I like to use, but in the context of a narcissistic relationship, this toxic relationship, I do believe that it is an appropriate term. And this is how it works. You come back from a tough day at work or college or whatever the case might be, and you're just wanting to relax. You want to come down from the day's busyness. And you might want to watch a bit of TV, listen to some music, go to the gym, whatever the case might be. And the next minute, this toxic person just starts saying things to you just to get under your skin, to agitate your negative reaction. Just something to wind you up. The sole purpose of that is to provoke a reaction in you, just to see how you're going to react. And then they might turn around and say, I was just joking with you. Stop being so damn serious. Those kind of things. The shit starters. That is a little indicator. And then what do you say? How do you react to a shit starter? It is part of this little walking on eggshells bit. It is as if it's a continuation of it. It's like a next level of the walking on eggshell principle. So be aware that when you want to relax, the NARC doesn't seem to give you the time to relax. They keep you at that emotional peak by simply starting an argument with you for no real reason, to provoke a negative reaction just to see what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. Ultimately, they do that to get the information. And the reaction is this feeding of this oxygen that they need to stay alive as far as you as the prey is concerned. Check it out. What about some gaslighting? Now, this is a term that has been bounced around the NARC world quite a lot. Now, I believe that there are two kinds of gaslighting. The first gaslighting, which is the common understanding of gaslighting, is this whole principle of you being questioned by yourself. It's like a bit of self-doubt. So something might happen and the NARC will turn around and say, did you really say? When you know for a fact that you didn't. Or maybe you did, it doesn't really matter, but the conversation will always be there for you to ask yourself that rhetorical question to try and understand what's the context in all of this. And as soon as they get you on that loop, they can do with you whatever they want. Because now your mind starts really focused on the content. It's about, have I? Haven't I? I'm not so sure anymore. And that is the first level of gaslighting, the common understanding of gaslighting in the NARC world is this questioning, self-doubt. That's the first one. To me, the other element of gaslighting is simply a distraction technique where you're focusing on event A, and they then plant emotional bombs at position B, C, D, E, and F. So whilst you are focusing on position A, or the issue that's happening at position A, you're not particularly paying attention to what's going on at position B, or C for that matter. And then all of a sudden, they will pull the trigger at position B. And because you're unawares, you go, how did that happen? Going back to the first original understanding of gaslighting, how did that happen? And you start questioning yourself why you never picked up on that. And then whilst you're then paying attention to what's going on at situation B, they do the same at position C, D, E, and so on. And it's a continual planting of these bombs and then pulling the triggers whilst you focus on wherever you are focusing on, then reinforcing the original gaslighting principle. Pay attention to this. Have you noticed yourself or a friend in a situation like that? What about everything about you is being belittled? Your achievements, regardless of how difficult your achievement might have been, the task at hand, doesn't matter. They belittle it by making it as if it was easy, and you are just a wuss because anybody can do what you've done. It's no big deal, by the way, weak person. You are being belittled. Never mind your achievements, but you are being belittled. Your opinions are being belittled. Your emotions are being belittled. Your thoughts are being belittled. You don't exist. You are a nothing. Because you get belittled a little bit at a time to the point of non-existence. You're just there. Dead man walking, emotionally speaking, so to speak, if I can use a phrase. There's no acknowledgement in this belittling because you just pray. So if they can belittle you by this non-acknowledgement, now I couldn't care less what anybody says. Everything that we do, we need to have some kind of psychological word stroke, because it gives us the reassurance that we are actually worthwhile in society. But in the dark, you're just running around in a void where there's nothing. They like that. The rest of us, we need that. And then they will belittle you because you need it. And you might say, hey, I've done something really good. And then, of course, that's exactly what they want, because now they know your need for a positive stroke is quite high. Therefore, they'll give you even less. That's exactly what the narc agenda is. So there you go. Part of that is also they will humiliate you. Now, why would you want to do that? Unless you've got an evil agenda. So you be belittled and then you get humiliated. And that might be in public with all your friends, your family members. They will definitely do that in private, that's for sure. But this humiliation whilst being belittled is a wonderful combination. They might say something like, oh, so-and-so, or he or she just tried to do this, and it was so easy. I couldn't understand why they're making such a big deal about it. That kind of nasty attitude that they exhibit from day to day in this particular technique or approach to try and gain control and let you know you mean nothing in their life. It's a fact. This is a common one. Narcs have to control finances. They just have to. If you, as the prey, even dare suggest that you want anything to do with finances, Have a look at the bank statements. Know what the money is being spent on. You might get some weird looks. You might get some nasty reactions. You might get the silent treatment, or you might get the bombs and the explosions. But a narc always has to control the finances. Consider this. If I can control your finances, I control where you go. I control what you do. I can control what you spend, the money that I give you. Therefore, you don't have much of a choice and freedom to do and relax in the manner that you want to do with the money that you might have earned. So when your narc controls the money and you don't have a say, trust me when I say that is a key indicator that the narc in your life is a narc, even though you might question whether you are in such a toxic relationship. But this is a common thing that I've seen in virtually everybody that I've spoken to, that the narc has to control finances. It is as if that feeds them for more control. There you go. A few more little indicators, not necessarily qualifiers. As always, I hope that this video has given you some insight, has maybe scratched your unconscious to go, I wonder if. Not just necessarily for yourself, but maybe for that other person that you might know. If it has, please let us know in the comments box. Please do all the YouTube admin, the like, the share, the subscribe, the thumbs up. Please share and subscribe. Please tell all your friends and all your family. For now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I'll speak to you soon.